Hey there, YouTube. Well, right now I am just so looking forward at treating you all with this 2005 Aston Martin DB9 Volante with 8,000 miles on it. This is a rather rare car you just don't find often at all on the road. I guess the same goes for almost every supercar that you see. I've always had an immense heart for Aston Martin. Continuing on the same influence from back from the 60s, even with DB5, if some of you guys remember the 007 flicks. Just love how sharp this car is, the rather long nose. You just see how it just slopes right down, almost like a shark. To me, that's what it looks like. You can see how sharp that looks. Back end is just as attractive as well. Dual exhaust tips. For the most part, it looks similar to the V8 Vantage. I've done that before on my older channel. These are 235/40 19s. You can see the vented disc brakes. Now just look at this interior. It's just so vibrant and rich looking. I love this beige colored leather. Just looks so supple, very soft. E-brake here on the side, right on the sill. Hand built in England. Really gives you a feel of how well built this car was. And check out this door panel, the wood accents here. Very rich looking. Adjustments to the seat are all the way up here because there's just no room over here, it's impossible. Adjust for more thigh support. Ooh, I really have it squeezing right on there. There's actually a back seat, but it's just useless. I guess it's best for groceries. Backrest right there. Alright, the key fob looks so similar to a Volvo key fob. Lock, unlock. This car will actually light up some of the exterior lighting. It's very useful at night. Just touch the trunk and panic. And here's the regular old school key right there. Now just stick it right in here in this ignition switch. It's rather tight. Push button start is right up there. That's really making its way up right now. Oops, you had to hold it. Whew. Beautiful startup. 12 cylinders, babe. Now, I exclusively have so much heart for Aston Martin. I just love how sleek these cars look. Luxurious, comfortable the interiors are. These cars aren't really that sport-oriented, though they do pack a punch under the hood. Though it doesn't compare to other supercars, such as Ferraris and Lamborghinis. Not the case with the Aston Martin. It really wasn't the goal, though the power will be there if you really want to get this car going. Now let's just check out this interior. As you can see, it's just so beautiful. Everything. I can't really say anything bad in terms of how it looks. It's just so classy. The real wood accents following over the padded section over here above the instrument cluster. You can see the stitching, very rich looking. Over above this section on the passenger side, over the airbag, nicely padded. Again, the exposed stitching carries over. Check out these A-pillars. They seem to be covered in this suede-like material over here, also with their stitching. Let me at least show you the sun visors. They're this tiny little thing right here. Though you really don't have the space right there to have a much larger sun visor, which just cut visibility immensely. You have this little tiny mirror. Passenger side is equal right there with its tiny mirror. I guess they actually do work. They do block off the sun. Glove box, electronic latch right there. Drops right down. It's not that large, and it's not dual latch either. As you close it, again, you can see it's damp somewhat. As you close it, it's a bit flappy, so maybe on rough surfaces this may begin flapping around. That's quite unfortunate. This car does offer Navi. That's what this screen up here is for. And this is actually where you engage the car into drive. Cars in drive, reverse, neutral, and park. This is the entire gear selection right there. Radio has hands-free controls, Bluetooth, in-dash 6-disc. This is where you adjust for the Navi right there, this little joystick. It's very tiny. Let me see if I can get it working. Yeah, there you go. Right up there. It's not so vibrant. Remember, this is a 2005 car. Nav systems were still in their beginning, though you can see it still works right there. I don't know if you guys can make it out. It looks very clunky in my opinion. Here's the analog clock, climate control, right down below. Make sure this car's in park, yep. Yeah, climate control right down here. It's not dual zone. Rear fog lamps, hazards, stability control, and traction control. Door locks are in the center. This is to retract the top. Little pocket right there with the power outlet. Ooh, there is a nickel in there. There has to be a short circuit, I bet. Oh, that's why this always has to be in there. This little slot right here, I guess, for envelopes and such. Not sure what else. Maybe a pen. I doubt it. Another little pocket here. Even the inside is coated with this leather. Everything throughout over here, nicely padded. Again, leather carries over even into the side where you would just never touch. Lumbar support right down below over here. Very hidden. Many people can end up missing it. Again, adjustments to the seat. Back, forth, thigh support, and backrest. Rear defogger, backup sensors, sport mode, more aggressive shifting, and I completely skipped comfort. The seats are nicely bolstered on the sides, though you do have to be careful when you're entering this car. You can break your rear getting into it because it's very stiff in there. There's a very hard piece. Backrest, nicely bolstered here on the sides as well, hugs your back immensely. The headrest, you can see it's all integrated onto the backrest. Thigh support is lacking somewhat, though if you adjust the seat all the way back, it does make way, and it does become quite tolerable for the most part. Leg room, a bit limited. You do have to have your legs shifted a little bit to the left. Has a large transmission hump. Steering wheel, nicely thick all the way around, has its side bolsterings, paddle shifters. This does have a 6-speed automatic, by the way. Cruise control, right down there. Wipers, intermittent speed on this lever. Turn signal, and you can also adjust for your trip computer. There's a little button right there. You can see distance to empty, all the basic info that you'd want to see. I do have the AC blowing. It's ice cold. Headlamps, they're on. Panel dim. Rather old school. This little knob that you have to push in order to access to it. Door panel has its wood finish on top. I love this metal grille that it has. The side is just a glove. It's beautifully done. Everything is cushiony. The buttons right there for the windows auto down function, both of them. Power mirrors. And here's the latch to open the door, by the way. Now, I want to drop this top. Windows will drop. Gosh, I hope this thing works and it won't get stuck midway through. Hides nicely. Yeah, you can see what I mean about the back seat. It's just useless, though I guess it makes a decent grocery holder, and if you want to bring a Thanksgiving turkey, it'll be nice and secure right there. Won't have to worry about that. You can see the backup sensors, by the way, the little circles right there. Yeah, trunk is rather small, again, because this is convertible. I'm sure this is the car cover. Little air compressor to the side. Let me see what you have access to over here. Power outlet for the battery. Let's close it. That was a very solid shut. No aftershock. This car is just so gorgeous. And look at the 6-liter dual overhead cam V12, 470 horsepower at 6,000 RPM. 443 foot-pounds of torque at 5,000 RPM. A rocket. I love all the bracings. This car has to be very rigid. I can't show you from any other angle how the top closes, so just gonna have to make do. See how it's working. Electronic latches. I close this back there. And windows up. was once in love with V8 Vantage, but I think I found new love with this V12 engine. It's just so much sexier. Close the windows. It's just so much smoother and much more rev happy. Well, YouTube, I truly enjoyed showing you this car. It really was a pleasure for me, and I hope it was a pleasure for you. That beautiful engine, I just love it. I wish my alarm clock sounded like this engine. I love that. Aston Martin didn't fail when it comes to interior quality, comforts, and really delivering a luxurious supercar that can truly be a daily driver. Cars such as the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, and such, those are just cars that are just overkill and a little bit unrealistic to make a decent daily driver. But Aston Martin did deliver a performance car that does lag behind the competitors from a performance standpoint, though it's still a car that you can use on a daily basis. It can be quiet and very formal, but jam that accelerator and it could be a true beast.